is
Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and Wippa.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. It's Fitzy and Wippa, and we are here to set up our podcast.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today? Is this the...
Nudes.
Oh, whoa.
Sorry, I sort of yelled it there. I got a bit excited.
Have you got a text message sound in there, Macca? Through the system, TEX.
I mean, when you pick up something and you can't actually work out what it is because you're so surprised, quite often it's a nude. It's not a tropical fruit or any sort of flower. It'll be a nude. MDG, who works on the show.
Best part, what's the best way to take it? Is it in the mirror?
A friend of mine argues.
It's a Nokia 3210.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you. The Nokia 3310, is it right? He would argue that the best way to do it is to try to kind of lower your arms down to about your knee and shoot back up. So
Shoot back up.
perspective would suggest that the appendage is more impressive than it may be if you went from top down.
Didn't know you were that flexible, Tom. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's me playing Snake, guys.
It's pretty good because, like when you catch a fish,
You got any more?
if you hold it closer to the camera, often it looks bigger, Tommy.
bigger.
So that's definitely working for you because to start with, it seemed inverted. Are you sending an email now on a BlackBerry?
yeah, or a text message sound effect, maybe. Macca.
okay.
No, well, Macca's
Tom's in front of the
struggling
mirror.
at the moment just to get a text message sound.
Just play the one you played before, Macca.
From the 3210.
Yeah.
There it is.
Coming through now.
Oh, Tom.
Tommy.
I knew you were a fan of goats, but not that much.
Enjoy the podcast.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
When did you send a nude to the wrong person?
You shouldn't be sending nudes anyway.
Full stop, mate. Well said. You shouldn't be taking any nude photos because iCloud gets hacked and your photos automatically go into your iCloud. And the next thing you know, the whole world can just search for your name and there it is, right there.
For men, it is. I don't
There's
know.
nothing attractive about.
It is one of the most ugly. Well, it's the ugliest thing on your body, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Without it.
They're
without
ugly.
it,
hang on a
yeah.
minute.
They're
Have a look
ugly.
at Tom's head.
Guys, don't compare my head to...
Well, if that one's not nice, imagine the other.
I mean, that
Either
one
of
that
them.
went around, I was really upset about that one that went around of Tommy Lee the other day.
I'm not on
yeah.
that text group.
Tommy Lee,
really?
and I was like, everyone was going, "Is that you, mate? Is that you?" I was going, "No, that's not me. That's Tommy." So many people were confused, and I was like, "I don't even have that tat on my stomach, guys. I understand the look-alike, but
It's the awkwardness of standing in front of a mirror or doing a selfie. It's just I
did it
just
once, and
makes me sick.
it didn't work. I was in the bath, and I was
What
trying.
your best angle?
I was trying to seduce my wife. Well, it was a bit of a joke. I was trying to seduce my wife who was sitting in the lounge room of the apartment that we were in. So I sent her a shot of me in the bath. I thought she'd be sprinting for it.
She did to hold your head under, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She attempted to drown me.
Yeah.
I was later drugged and
How do you stop
revived.
Wippa from drowning? Take your foot off his head.
Just awesome. No, don't do a drum roll, Tom.
No, more the boom tish.
No, don't worry about any of that gear. You don't
Sorry.
need it.
Just trying to lift the brake.
Woman by the name of Steph Claire Smith. She's got 1.5 million followers. I wonder why.
She's a respected model and
She's very
Of course, you
character.
chip in at that
Very
point. You've
cool.
seen the picture.
Thank you, MDG, for clarifying what I'm looking at in this photo. She's very attractive. She's very fit. Anyway, she had sent a picture to her now husband and unfortunately sent it to her mum and dad on a little group chat. I don't know how you make that mistake.
If you
Oh,
hit
here
a
we go,
button-
Says. Here we go.
No, I send photos by accident all the time. They're just not terribly exciting photos. But you know what it's like. You go to select a few and suddenly you go, whoops, I didn't select that, but it's sent.
Influencers as well, they have a lot on their mind. Obviously, they're taking photos, they're sending off a TikTok. There's a lot of things going on. And you know what? She's probably taken the photo and she's thought about, that's right, I've got to catch up with mum and dad. We've got to talk about my electricity bill this
I
Saturday.
need to show them me in the
And
nude.
as she's thinking about that, she sent it off to mum and dad. And they've gone, whoa, have a look at the size of that electricity bill.
Well, the funny thing is, too, you could take just a nude in front of the mirror, or you could take something that might be a little more graphic, and you would hate to do that and then send it to your mum and dad.
You tell them it's for a doctor.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was an online doctor service.
in Nigeria.
Checking I thought maybe there was a rash there.
Does this look normal to you?
Yeah.
Isn't
What a
there new
tropical
features
plant.
on the iPhone 14? Can't you take a text message back?
Yes.
You
Can
can.
you?
How long have you got?
30 seconds or something, isn't it?
Isn't it until they've seen it?
No, it's time limited, but
right.
it's long enough that you would go, oh crap,
Yes.
that
and then-
shouldn't have happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her mum
a
wrote
no-brainer.
back, I don't think we need to see that.
Awesome.
She wrote back, Mum, just don't respond. It was too late. Remember there was a girl that we used to work on this show, Millie. She had an interesting one. My God. Her brother...
God, you didn't name her.
I wouldn't. Her brother, our producer for Jonesy and Amanda, if you're trying to pin the dots here, she moved on, unfortunately, probably because we told too many stories about her IBS. But what
She
happened
didn't have
was
IBS, just to be clear.
her brother gave his old phone to her dad, and the girlfriend kept sending nude shots to her brother. And obviously it was connected to the old phone, which was passed on to the dad. And the dad was just sitting there on a Sunday, all this gear's coming through.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do.
Well, he didn't say anything for about 6 months.
Really quiet and waited for the honeymoon.
Being respectable here, and I'm not saying a word.
Chelsea, welcome to the show. Who did you actually send a nude to?
So I was living away for uni on campus, and my boyfriend was long distance. So I was meant to be sending him nudes back in the Snapchat era, but I'd accidentally sent it to somebody in my advertising group at uni.
Oh, my
I wasn't
God.
that close with.
Oh, my
And
God.
it was after a uni bar night out, and he decided to show up at my dorm. He had a girlfriend at the time, and I had like 40 people in my dorm, all had heard the story, and they were all sitting there waiting for his arrival, and he was so embarrassed. He thought I was inviting him over.
Oh! That was a booty call.
And you had to break it to him, it's not for you. And by the way, could you
Yeah.
please delete that and don't show anybody?
Yeah, and we had a whole group assignment to finish and present for like another month.
Oh, my God. Was it
So-
it in the mirror shot?
It was actually a video, which was even worse.
And you are so lucky that you're at an age where university students are so understandable and they'll just put that away and not show anyone else.
Yeah, nobody.
Chelsea, send it through. We'll get it on the
Oh,
socials.
Chels, that's a shocker. Corey from the Blue Mountains, who did your old work colleague send a nude to?
Good morning, gang. I was in the army with a friend of mine by the nickname, aptly named Big Blank Nick, and so he sent some documentation through to Defence Housing Australia. Urgent documentation. Hadn't received any correspondence back for a couple of days, and he's like, "Oh, that's odd. I'll just check the email that I sent. There's image 001, 002, and picture 543 or whatever it may be." I'll quickly open that up, and to his shock, he's accidentally sent a nice image of himself in the bathroom to a lovely lady at Defence Housing Australia.
She's forwarded that to the police.
Wow.
She's
More,
gone.
more than likely.
Oh,
She's replied with, "Get him on the front line."
what about that guy I knew who had recently got married and he was going through some photos on his laptop, but he was lying in bed nude at the time.
Yeah.
So he was then so excited, instead of forwarding them from his laptop on, he took photos of them on the laptop. But what he didn't realise was little Percy was also in the shot. Do you know what I mean, MDG?
I was just waiting for you to bring that up. I was just waiting for you. And then,
So
yes,
you sent photos to the bridal party,
The whole
of photos
bridal
of your wedding.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
And
You didn't know,
didn't know
though.
that the mouse was in the house under the screen.
Your best mate Johnson was there.
Yeah, there was a group shot. You know, everyone was included. It wasn't a good moment.
Everything was included.
And having to, because I just sent it to the wedding party. I didn't even include Bronte in the photo, in the group. And then when I had to say, "Hey, Bronte, I've got some, I don't know
some
how to
bad
put
news.
this. I've sent
Your bridesmaids.
A nude shot of me to every one of your bridesmaids." And she's like, "What's going on here?" But I was like, "But it's okay, because I've sent it to all the guys as well."
As if you didn't do that on purpose.
Totally.
As if.
What do you
I hope you did.
Sicko.
Didn't work once.
Got any more
Got it.
stories? Get involved, give us a call. Debbie and Dundas. What's your story, Deb?
Hi guys, how are you?
Debbie.
Yeah, here we go, Deb.
Yes, I wasn't the sender, I was the receiver.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
I'm a manager of many people, and it was one of my teams.
Did you think that it was a flirtation? Is that what you thought it was, Deb?
I actually did at first, and that's what I was really worried about, and I just didn't know how to respond, so I just sent back a text and said, "I really don't think that's appropriate to send to your boss."
Was it from a guy or a girl, Deb?
A guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the full bathroom mirror pose.
Sure.
Deb, were you disgusted or actually quite impressed, Deb?
You don't want to answer truthfully, do you,
I
Deb?
don't want to answer that.
Hey, Deb, did they write back once you'd responded?
Yeah, he wrote back, oops, sorry, wrong person. And then I just said back, this will never be spoken of again.
Yeah,
Oh,
fair.
well played.
Well,
That's
well
a good
played.
thing to do.
Do you reckon anyone else found out, though, Deb, or no? He kept it pretty quiet.
Oh, he kept it very quiet. Yeah.
All right, Deb, well, here's your chance to say where you work and also what his name was.
They said, I even
great.
had to turn the radio off at work because they listened to you guys.
Oh, great
Oh,
story,
my
Deb.
gosh. He was asking for a pay rise in the shot as
No,
well.
he
which
certainly
was
had it, yeah.
Basic. Good.
But basic. And consistent for the show, man. I think that needs to be
Smart.
honoured.
Smart
Smart funny. Use the
Smart
hashtag smart funny.
Mark in Windsor. Who did you send a nude to, Mark?
I work for my parents, so me and my partner were texting at the time that they sent me the message to say what time I start in the morning.
About here.
So I've texted a nude back to Dad.
Yeah.
And he replied, no, I said 6, not 12. I think you've got the wrong person.
Oh, Mark. How did you respond to that?
I said, I guess last time you saw me, I was a little bit smaller.
Oh, my God. Do you like clocks?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, at least your dad's got a sense of humour.
Yeah.
Clock's broken.
This clock is broken.
Oh, that is gold.
Thanks, buddy.
Jared in Burwood. Where did your nude end up, Jared?
So actually, it was my wife. Didn't send it to me, but we were having a nice little date night, little thing, and I thought it would be nice to give her a little manicure. I was plucking her eyebrows.
Hot.
She was laying on my lap, and she took a nice selfie, and I was like, that's cute. Next minute, on Instagram, in the corner of the photo, I see my junk hanging out everywhere for the world to see. And she left to go get dinner, and she came back, and I was like, you need to take that off now. Why? The old carrot and potatoes are hanging out in the corner. And I'm like, you need to get that off right now.
The fact that she'd done it and then left the house,
I know.
so you couldn't stop it.
So, yeah, she left
Oh,
to get dinner or whatever, and then I was cooking the pasta. I think we had meat left, needed to get meat, and she came back. I was like, you need to check your stuff right now.
oh my God!
I love how she's gone. This is such a cute shot of us.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this up on Insta. It is so beautiful.
Just to show his commitment. This is really cute. There's the meat and veg.
Renee in Ropes Crossing. Who did you accidentally send a nude pic to, Renee?
Everyone on my Snapchat story.
Well played.
why-
What happened?
Okay, so I went out one night, had a few drinks.
Oh, Renee, you're still there.
We'll try and get her back. We'll pop her on hold. We'll try and get her back.
Oh, God,
mate.
so far I said 6, not 12.
That is...
What a comeback.
Because you immediately think, oh, my gosh, how do you...
That
Get it up
is
to 6.
hilarious. What about
How do you
Jared?
get it up to 12?
That is extraordinary. We've spoken to Jared, haven't
Yeah.
we?
Renee's back, guys. Renee's back.
Renee.
Renee, so the Snapchat story, you went out for a few drinks.
I come home, the guy I was seeing at the time told me to send him a pic. Now, just let me clarify, it was not a full naked pic.
Yep.
It was just the chest region.
Yep.
So I've sent it, all good, thought it was pretty sexy, you know how it is. And then my phone started going off, and I'm thinking, what is going on? I'm getting all these Snapchat beeps. I actually put it onto my Snapchat story.
Okay, for everyone.
And the dog could see it. And then my girlfriend ran me and she said, Renee, what are you doing? And I said, what are you talking about? She goes, check your story. So I've checked my story and I thought, oh my God, and I'm not that tech savvy. So I had no idea how to get this photo.
Oh, no.
Sorry, my 18-year-old son was in bed. I had no choice but to go and wake him up. Buddy, help, Mum, I've done something stupid. And he's gone, oh my God, Mum. But he did take it off my story for me.
You had to get your 18-year-old son to help remove a nude.
I'd be more worried that your 18-year-old son's mates are following you on Snapchat because that is
They do.
jackpot.
Yes.
As
They
it turns
do.
out, they want to come round for a drink more often, Renee.
Are you ready to put your pool floaties to work? Start planning the ultimate summer getaway with whatif.com.
Find hotels and holiday rentals plus family-friendly resorts. Just jump on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Guys, I don't know whether to... I mean, when I realised this I wasn't sure whether it fitted into one of our categories or games that we play on the show. Only just realised or something like that. I feel a bit stupid announcing this, but I've had learning difficulties over time.
No.
Yeah. Spelling is not one of my strong suits. Reading, I gave that a miss for most of my life. I've hit 42 and I'm still trying to push through it. In fact, Ted is halfway through reading Charlotte's Web, right? That's his first chapter book that he's reading. That'll be one book more than I've ever read.
Could you not get around Charlotte's Web? Like, there's a pig and a spider.
You would have had to have read it. What was the number one book you remember from school?
Janet Jackson's autobiography.
Yeah, it was. She's doing a world tour. You must be pumped.
I read that. That's about all I ever read. It was rad. And when we had to go back to school...
When you spell read rad.
Yeah, there's your issue.
I think the best was when we did Wordle the other day and the word was exist and Wippa goes, what's this word? I said exist. He goes,
Doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know it did.
In grade 4 we had to bring a book to school to read, like a chapter book, and I bought the Angler's Almanac. So I just read fishing stories about people catching flathead and oh my
Tides.
God.
Tides
Snapper was caught off Sydney Harbour. Yep. All that sort of gear. Yeah, tides, different hooks. Different bait. It was awesome. Then when I sat down last night to do Ted's homework, I had no idea. He's in grade 1. And I sat down and I realised for the first time, I said to Lisa, can you come and have a look at this? Are you across this? And she went, yeah, everyone's across this. And Ted said, I can do it if you want, Dad.
well, that's the point of his homework.
What subject are we talking about?
You had to name how many days, you had to list how many days were in each month.
Are you kidding?
I've never ever known.
30 days has September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31 except for February.
And on a leap year, it has...
Leap year, yeah.
29? 28. I've always kind of been... I know when it's getting to the end, so I don't really need to know. It's one of those things I've always thought I don't need to know. Like, when we hit 28, 29 at the end of the month, I go, we're near the end of the month. I know we're not going to go past 31 on any occasion, right? So I know the small numbers at the start. I've got a rough idea of the mid, you get paid, and at the end, I know when it's rounding out, it's tailing off. But I've never been able to say, if someone said to me, how many days has June got?
How exciting for you birthdays must be, because who knew when that was coming?
Don't you do the knuckle? Isn't there the knuckle?
What's the knuckle one?
The knuckle one as well, which is...
There is a knuckle one, isn't there, where you go... up, down, between your knuckles.
Oh, don't you try.
30 days.
What is it?
Isn't the knuckles, do you start at December or Jan, and in between the knuckles are the months that don't have...
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah,
I didn't know that one.
There's January, February down.
Yeah, one starts with the little finger knuckle as January, and then one finger at a time. It's counted towards the
March 31, April, May. Yeah,
let's get this video on socials.
Jeez,
4 idiots counting on their knuckles.
Well, I know 31, the month, so I'm not...
You also look like you're about to fight someone as you're doing
Pointing at my knuckles. You want to see these coming at your face really fast.
How many days in March? Oh, whoa.
Hang on a minute. Hey.
Put your juice up there, mate.
I've never ever known. And as I sat there last night and Ted did the homework, I just thought, I'm so relieved. Mum said this to me the other day. You must be relieved that your son isn't struggling the way you did.
Aww. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I was walking with someone the other day and they said, hey, turn left, and I had to put my hands up.
Awesome.
To see which one was left.
L loser,
L.
yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, sorry, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, so it's left.
All right, so we all have our own thing.
So you're year 1, right? Okay, and this is the tough thing. I mean, Huey's now year 7, and it's like he doesn't even think about coming to me anymore.
Really? He's given up.
Well, I'm trying to think back how my parents were with homework, and if they ever... I can't even remember.
Well,
going to mum and dad and them helping out with your homework.
Dad was Dad was so committed to it. He would say, I will sit here for as long as you can sit and help you out in any way that I can to get you through. And he would put together flashcards. So what he would do...
What? John?
Christine,
I didn't know he had those photos.
He had these Adidas press stud tracksuit pants.
And if I got something right, he would that as well at the local bus stop.
So what he would do, he would have a card here and it would say 7 sevens, and then I'd have to guess it, and then he'd flip it over, 49.
And then he'd go, well done, mate. I reckon you'll pass this year 10 exam.
Have a look at this. Welcome to my flashcard. 13 24 10. Love to know what homework you were stumped by with the kids. Katie, hello.
Hey, good morning.
So
my son is in year 7 and he comes home with like algebra and God knows what with mathematics. So we, geniuses mums, invented a Facebook page in Messenger where we take photos of the homework, and we've kind of brainstormed the answers together. Half the time we've had a few wines and the answers are definitely wrong. But God forbid, when do you need algebra? Come on, guys. Like, get with the program. Make homework fun and entertaining.
Are you saying that there's like a parents' community page?
No, a private Facebook page.
Yeah, we help each other out.
It's a great idea.
That's clever.
And then there are times where my daughter's in year 6 and I'll say to my son, look, hey, I'll give you $5. Can you just sit with her and help her with her homework? Like, come on.
And then I said, dude, I say this, Katie, to Lisa, I'm always saying, do you really need to do that?
Yeah.
And then I think,
we have the same argument at our place too.
Don't try and buck the trend because the proof of your angle doesn't work. I mean, we learnt very quickly that not doing anything ends in not having anything.
Yeah, well said. John in Forestville, what happened when you and your wife tried to help with homework, Johnny?
Well, our son brought the Year 2 homework home one day, and my wife and I sat down for about 3 hours to get it finished.
Oh, no.
We went back to the school the next day and we said to the teacher, this homework's pretty hard. It took a long time. And she said that was the homework for the whole term.
Oh, you did the whole thing.
We did the whole term homework in one night.
Oh, Johnny, great commitment.
Great lesson for the kids as well. Get it done early. Don't leave it to the last minute.
Oh, Johnny,
John.
outstanding. Larry's in Curl. What happened with your daughter's homework, Laz?
Yeah, mate. Stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning helping with trigonometry. She failed the assignment. The good news is I got out of doing any maths homework for all 3 of my kids for the rest of their school lives.
Yeah,
Trigonometry.
That's...
Oh, my God, that's a big word.
That's the same tactics that you use when you have to do work around the house, don't you? If you do a shocking job,
stacking the dishwasher.
I told never to do it again.
My wife banned me.
Well done,
what
Larry.
a relief, Larry.
At least you had a crack, Larry, and stayed up late. Elmer in Camden, what's your strategy to get your kids' homework done?
Well, I've actually got twins in year 7, so sometimes I have to pop from one room to the other. So they just think I've got a really weak bladder because I always have to go to the toilet because I go and sit on the phone to Google it. And then come back and they think I'm really smart.
Oh, Elmer, you're dancing the dance. Are they going all right at school?
Yeah, they're doing really well.
Are they
Good on you, cheek.
intellectually exactly the same, Elmer, or are they a little bit different?
No, one's in high performance classes and one's just a couple of levels below, but they're both, then one's smarter than the other. Shh, don't tell them I said that.
I mean,
well, in different ways, Elmer.
That's when you want, you know, when they talk about the twin intuition.
Yeah.
That's when, when one's smarter than the other and you're doing your exams, that's when you want the intuition where you're going, oh, yeah.
The smart one knows
I know
the answer.
exactly what he's thinking about.
Wouldn't that be handy? Is that cheating?
No.
Good at English, so they've got strengths and weaknesses, so they help each other, which is great.
Well done. Let's go to Tori in Paddington. Your roommate is a teacher. How does she help her class, Tori?
So my roommate's a teacher and she didn't do maths in high school and she really struggles when they're doing things like algebra. And so what she'll do is if she has a question she doesn't know the answer to, she'll throw it to the class and always point at the smartest girl in the class and say, what do you think the answer is?
Awesome.
And sometimes they'll come at her with some questions and she'll say, well, I'm not going to answer the questions for you. You guys have to work this out yourself.
I've always
point to the smartest girl again and say, what do you think it is?
Throw it back.
Do you know what? I've always wondered that as a teacher, there would be numerous questions that you don't know.
Oh, big time. We used to have this guy called Cyclone Collins. We called him Cyclone because he would blow up into a storm every time he didn't know an answer. And Eddie Glenn, a mate of mine, was probably the smartest kid in the class, and he would ask him questions that he knew Cyclone wouldn't know. So you would just... And the rest of the class, when he was looking through the book trying to find the answer, the rest of the class sat there going... because they could hear the cyclone coming.
Classic
and it would build to a point where he was hitting the forehead with a spitball. And it was a great day. It was a great day when that happened. Wouldn't happen at your school, mate.
What do you do in that situation? Well, Tori's just told us you throw to the smartest kid in the class. Can you, these days, you could go out of the room and just Google it, couldn't you?
Well, this is why yesterday they announced that from 2026, maths will be compulsory right through to the end of the HSC. And the justification was it doesn't matter what you do with the rest of your life, doing Year 12 level maths will benefit. That is such crap.
No, it's not. I agree with that.
What do you mean?
I agree with that.
To the trigonometry point, when have you ever...
I don't need trigonometry, but I think supporting maths and understanding numbers is crucial, whatever it is. Whether you're adding up Ks, if you're driving somebody, if you're trying to do a time conversion, just understanding and playing with numbers will give you those skills.
All of them you have achieved by about year 4. After that,
but you forget them. How much do you remember from year 4 schooling, really?
Nothing.
You remember the stuff that was reinforced years over years.
But see, the equations that you're doing in year 12, you'll never use later in life.
No, you won't.
Never once.
But it's still the practice of it. I'm going to go back and do it. That's how much.
When will you use Pythagoras' theorem ever? In your life.
I mean, you just told us that probably the most effective way of learning for you was flashcards from your dad when you were 18 years of age.
It wasn't 18. I knew my 7 times table because it was on the back of the toilet door.
Awesome.
That's another tip you can use.
So you do it.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Lights, camera, clarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. The stink around James Corden seems to be getting a bit
What
worse.
is going on?
I know, I don't like this. I'd like James Corden. When we had him on the show, he was so lovely.
He was awesome.
Wasn't he? Awesome bloke. Anyway, started yesterday when the owner of New York's Balthazar restaurant, who is a British guy, he put up on Instagram saying James Corden is the most abusive customer we've ever had, and he is further from here banned from our restaurant. And apparently this was because when James was in with his wife in June, he apparently demanded free drinks and was very rude after finding a hair in his wife's omelette.
Oh, my God.
And he sort of unleashed, and there was a bit of egg white when it was just supposed to be yolk, blah, blah, blah. So he's been banned. Apparently overnight, James Corden has called the owner and apologised profusely, because the owner then put up a post this morning saying, having effed up myself more than most people, I strongly believe in second chances. He is no longer banned. The problem is everyone's starting to jump on this Ellen-style bandwagon now with James Corden. So we haven't had any staff complain the way they did about Ellen, so to speak, but fans are saying he's incredibly rude, dismissive, ignores them when they're in the crowd. I would argue the guy's trying to do a TV show, leave him alone. He doesn't chat to you individually.
He's got to know what's coming up next.
Absolutely. But then this audio from 2017, which, come on, could have been a joke, but I don't know that it was. He's playing a game. It's his show, but Jimmy Kimmel, that's the one, thank you, is on the show. And you know the games James plays where you have to ask awkward questions or drink like fish guts or whatever. James is being asked a question. Anyway, everyone is sharing this audio again.
Name 2 of the cameramen in this room.
That's a great question. It's a different crew tonight, actually.
I mean, we've done that one on air ourselves, haven't we?
This is the thing. They're like, but I would have thought you do know your cameraman.
How would you know the scenario?
Wouldn't
the
you know
situation
one
there?
name?
Of course you would. You would think you would, but you don't know. I mean, God.
And that's the thing. Is he leaning into a joke? Is he anyway? Yeah, it just feels.
What did he call him? The guy from Balthazar? A little troll or something?
Yeah,
a short little cretin.
Cretin, yeah. He was pretty vicious in his statement around James.
I think he did well to apologise. Rang the owner straight away, but he's got to ring the waitress or the person that he blew up at. I think
this is the argument as well. Like, you've apologised to the owner, that's great, but you abused a waitress.
I never know whether the Ricky Gervais jokes are real or not.
Well, he doesn't like him.
Ricky, but I wasn't sort of out of character for Ricky not to like somebody publicly like that.
Ricky does. Ricky goes very hard.
I think it's genuine. I think. I'm not.
I wonder if something happened between the two of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go on.
I don't mind a couple of hairs in my egg white omelette, to be honest with you, here and there. I mean, I wouldn't be yelling at someone over a hair in your meal.
You wouldn't be wrapped.
You're classic Corden.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've never yelled at somebody.
You've had a go at a guy because of a warm glass.
Yeah, I asked for a cold beer and he serves it in a warm glass.
Because he just washed the glass because you complained that it was dirty the first time.
Hey, mate, get a cold glass out, maybe. I certainly didn't yell at him.
Yeah, but yelling,
it was a fly kick to the head.
Yelling, I feel like, can be interpretive, maybe.
I agree.
Like if James Corden got a bit stroppy the way you did that time at the Roosevelt,
Well, yeah.
that could be. Oh, he yelled.
Well, my toilet was blocked as well when I went to check
No,
in.
you
3
blocked
room
it
changes.
yourself.
Anyway, I'm not going to call you James Corden because it's too much
I'm
credit.
not sure- and he's a bit overweight, and that's not me. So
Anyway.
move on.
Guys, Taylor Swift. This is very unlike her. She's out in public with Joe Alwyn, which we never see the two of them really together. They've gone furniture shopping in New York, and conveniently her album drops on Friday. So we know that she she starts to make many more public appearances in the lead up. It makes sense. She wants to flog albums. She actually has gone so far, though, in explaining one of the tracks on her new album. It's called Lavender Haze, and she actually says how much it's written about her love for Joe.
We live in the era of social media, and if the world finds out that you're in love with somebody, they're gonna weigh in on it. My relationship for 6 years, we've had to dodge weird rumors, tabloid stuff, and we just ignore it. And so this song is sort of about the act of ignoring that stuff to protect the real stuff. I hope you guys like it.
When do we get to hear some Lavender Haze?
Friday when the
Lavender Haze, Lavender Haze.
This is the album that she wrote at night
Midnight.
when she couldn't sleep.
Yeah, all the time she couldn't sleep. The things that keep you up at night.
Oh, it would just be a to-do list for me.
I know.
You're lying about it. I forgot about that. I'll write that in my notes. I'll send myself an email.
Bank
Sending
statement.
myself
you would
an
have
email in the middle.
Song one would be Dogbox.
Huh?
2, I should get home when I'm told to. Song number 3.
I had too much whiskey and passed out on the couch.
Bottle
last
shop
night.
on the way home.
Shouldn't have eaten that for dinner.
Go to the butcher. Pick
Donuts
up milk.
at breakfast.
Okay, mate.
Yeah. Finally, guys, Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis have united. They've released a statement about the ex-nanny. So
Well,
yesterday,
on behalf of the two of them.
on behalf of the two of them.
Oh.
So, I mean, way to bring them back together. Obviously, all those revelations yesterday about how they'd split up over Harry and how messy that was. They've said, as parents, it's incredibly upsetting to learn that our former nanny would choose to make such false accusations. And then they've accused her of an 18-month-long campaign of harassing us, as well as our loved ones, close friends and colleagues. So I would think, given that that video disappeared before we could air more of it,
Yep.
this is certainly going to go legal, which is amazing. What makes me sort of laugh is that the biggest question on the internet yesterday was about the dressing for Harry
Yep.
Styles on that salad.
Did they find a hair in the salad?
So a few months before, or it might have been a year before, Olivia Wilde did a special for the Food Network.
Yeah.
And she gave out a vinaigrette recipe.
Oh.
So this is where everyone's gone, this must be Harry Styles. So if you're a Harry Styles fan and you want to eat like Harry today,
Wow, what evidence do you have? It's a
Balsamic?
vinaigrette.
Here we go.
Balsamic in there, sir?
we got red wine vinegar, some Dijon mustard, a bit of honey, bit of salt, some
Okay.
garlic, bit of olive oil.
Jeez, it's loaded.
Add to your mixed greens and your Kalamata olives and your crumbed feta and some cucumber.
Do you want garlic in a dressing? I don't know, guys.
Harry Styles does.
I don't know about that.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Flirting at the wrong time. I want to hear calls 13 20 410.
What, is there a wrong time to flirt?
There are.
I think if you're in a moment, you're in a moment. You know what I mean?
Well, in this situation, there is. A judge has dismissed a young woman from the jury, hearing the trial of 3 men in connection with a 2020 kidnapping after attorneys accused her of flirting with one of the defendants in the courtroom.
How, though?
Winking.
Yeah, I'm making eyes.
Flick of the hair.
The judge said she has never seen such behaviour in nearly 35 years of practising law. Since the start of the trial, there's been non-verbal communication between one of the jurors, a female, and Mr. Bella, who is accused of kidnapping. And she said the communication has been in the form of eye contact and smiling throughout the whole trial.
Very powerful. I mean, depending on what she's wearing as well, she might flutter the eye.
Honestly, you're flirting while you're a juror, trying to put somebody away?
But maybe you make eye contact that first time. Then you look back to see if they're looking, so there's a second.
Yeah,
then
second
there's sort of
eye.
like a half smile, then it's, oh God, this is funny.
Yeah, why are they still looking at me?
Yeah.
Or am I looking at them?
Then there's a low-cut top and a...
Wrong time to do it.
Totally.
Wouldn't you wait until the trial's over? Not guilty. I was one of the ones that got you off. Now you
Now you
can
can get
go
me
out
off.
for a feed. Oh,
In every sense.
I told you
I'm
about...
guilty of loving you.
Oh, in the first degree. I knew a guy, and he was getting married to a girl, and he went along to a silent retreat. a 7-day silent retreat.
This is before the wedding?
Yeah, before the wedding. This is his little outlet. And he sat in some teepee staring at this girl that he thought was stunning for 7 days without saying a word. Course finished, and you're allowed to talk. And he said, "Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. We've obviously made eye contact over the past 7 days." And she said, "Yeah, I felt that, and I couldn't stop staring back. I hope you didn't mind." And he said, No, I loved every bit of it." He ended up breaking off his engagement to the girl he was seeing. The wedding invites had gone out.
Wow.
And he ended up marrying the girl
from the wellness retreat.
From the wellness retreat that he stared at for 7 days. Not one word had been spoken. They now have 3 kids.
I guess that's the whole... Isn't that what tantric is, where you're just
A little
looking?
bit different, I think. That's more of a connection where you're looking to receive a high. Or
No, but the very first
level
elements, isn't it just sitting and staring into each other's eyes, trying to make that connection?
And what... And actually...
Don't look at me with her.
Well, you've got one of those books on your desk, Sarah, which I think is quite confronting.
Thanks for signing it, Fitz, too, because number 72, you did such a good
I don't know how you get in that
very
position.
long time to go through all those positions.
My God, in a handstand.
No, but see, I got... How's this for a
Here we
mate
go.
who ran into the back of a girl at a red light?
What? Oh, okay.
In the car.
Yeah, in the car. Gets out of the car. She was late for an appointment.
Yep.
Very upset. And as he's getting her details, cracked a joke, going, "Now I've got your details, maybe I can take you out on a date." She was fuming. Said, "This is not the time. I'm running late. Don't try to flirt with me. Not the time to flirt." Which is understandable.
Oh, I thought that story was going to end with the marriage.
No.
Yeah. Did they get it all?
It
or what?
felt like you led us there.
He thought he was in and chuck a little joke out there just to see if he could get a nibble.
I don't think it's ever a wrong time to
A
flirt.
funeral's pretty wrong.
Nah, no, it's not.
It is if you're very closely related to the person in the box.
If you can make a positive
what if that was
out of a
your mum?
farewell,
Fair enough.
that'd be really weird.
It's not the right time to flirt with me.
Go on to group.
Your uncle has died and I'm a widow.
We've done that topic, haven't we? Picked up at a funeral. A shoulder to cry on can very much become a bosom for a pillow.
Can we go to Jason in Leichhardt? When did you flirt at the wrong time, Jason?
Yeah, I got done for drink driving on my bike, actually, my e-bike. I was skipped down to Woolies to get a six-pack, and I got pulled over by the police, and I went to court, and I started lady judge. And it didn't work out too good. I ended up getting 6 months.
You started dating the
and
judge?
a $500 fine.
Were you flirting with the judge, Jace, in court?
Yeah, but it didn't work out too good because I'm a younger and she's like 70 years old. But, I told her she had really nice hair. And told me to put my tongue in place and gave me 6 months and $500.
I mean, Chase, obviously you've got a bad line. It's hard to hear your story, but you've attempted to flirt with a judge who said, watch your tongue, but you'd have a crack, wouldn't you?
Well, you know what? And Whip, you did one this morning, how to get out of a fine.
Yep.
And a young lady went on a date with a police officer and she got out of the fine.
I mean, if you got up in court...
So Jace has gone for it and you've had a go at him.
He stood up. He's gone, "You can't handle the truth. You're beautiful. You can't handle the truth. You wouldn't mind a crack with me." 6 months. Get out. It's always worth a go.
It's worth a try. It is definitely worth a try.
Do you
Sarah,
do
what
it
are you
when
looking
you're
at
like...
the group for?
Because I feel like if anyone's tried to inappropriately embrace a situation, it's going to be our friend Matt.
The closest that I came to, I don't think it's okay to try to pick people up at the gym. I think it's a safe space, and I feel that it's probably an intimidating place enough. But there was a girl that I saw at a gym that I really wanted to ask out, and so I just waited until she finished her workout
really nice
and
set.
walked out of the gym and walked after her and then asked her out.
Oh, so you followed her
And so
out.
she was like, "So you've creeped on me in the gym, then you've stalked me after the gym."
Oh, no.
Not a chance.
So
Tell
what did
your
you say?
story,
So
Wolf.
hang on a minute. Let's paint the picture. If she's walked out of the gym, you're hot behind her, ghosting straight up hard. What was your opening line?
Hey, I'm so sorry. I noticed you just finished your workout there. Look, I don't want to be inappropriate. I'd never ask you out in the gym. I was just wondering whether or not you'd be interested in going for a drink at some stage.
And what did she say?
You are such a creep.
It's not fair, is it, mate?
You and Bronte have been together ever since.
The fact that you showed respect and waited for her to leave
I
the
would have
gym.
thought so.
I mean, your next move was sort of to stand next to her car when she got in.
Just lean on the driver's side door so she can't open it.
Followed her home, just stood outside the front door. Just waited.
Unlock it.
It's romance.
Do you know what I mean?
You just, what
Hey,
point?
I'm
It's
back.
a blurry line. It's a
How
blurry
did you
line.
get into the building?
Tommy, you know what would be good to do too? Love at first sight.
Oh.
Like, remember there was a girl, Lindsay, who worked with us. And Lindsay, not the Lindsay you're thinking of, Lindsay, she was really attractive. Right?
Oh.
And
So
she,
what about the other one?
Well,
Lindsay, of course, was
Could be either
attractive.
Lindsay
Of
then.
course, the other one was attractive, but I'm saying not Lindsay Watchman. Lindsay.
Named and shamed.
Sarah, don't
come
buckle
on.
over.
God.
Anyway,
Should've come out earlier.
Lindsay, right? Let's say Lindsay is, 10 out of 10, and she walks into a bar and sees this guy for the first time and thinks to herself, I want to marry that man. He wasn't even good looking. So what's in her head to go, I've seen what I want for the rest of my life? He wasn't going to knock back Lindsay. It's not like the other Lindsay. This Lindsay was unbelievable. So
I'm out.
You could.
I'm off.
So is anyone still with me at this stage
It's
of the
like
journey?
when you start a Rubik's Cube
Anyone with me?
and 30 seconds in, you're in a worse position than you were than when you started it.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.